So, this is it. Give me a second to adjust my camera. This is the point of no return when you are on a cliff or on a, I don't know the word in English, a jumping post in the public pool, and behind you there are already people lining up to do the jump, and you're a bit scared, and now you have to do it because you cannot go back down the ladder and look like a coward. This video and this channel and this information, hopefully videos, I will make for you and me and everyone out there are a long time coming. They've been fermenting under the surface for some time. I mean, who can blame me or anyone in these weird times to want to talk about things? Yeah, because it's quite crazy. A lot of things are going on, and I think there is a duty. We have a duty to open our mouth and speak our truth. There are different truths. There is subjective truth, moralic, philosophic, religious, however, and there is objective truth that can be proven, kind of. But also this topic about provability and objective and subjective truth will be part of my videos, hopefully, probably. But before that, I show you a nice butterfly. You see it? I don't know if you see it, if the camera can capture it, but this is why I'm here in the woods. So why am I doing these videos? At first I have to apologize because I'm carrying my camera in my hand. At first I had the notion to do this video sitting, so I have no tripod or selfie stick. I don't even own stuff like that because I'm just a normal, regular, everyday guy who has something to say. I'm not a YouTuber or videographer or however you would call it. I'm just a dude with an action cam from Amazon. So why do I have the need to talk about things? Like I said, I think we have the duty. So there are different people who really influenced me, who are not on this plane of existence anymore, like Clemens Awey, a biologist and a big critic of the medical procedures of the last year, and also Gunnar Kaiser, a German philosopher and freedom fighter, freedom extremist, how you ever want to call those kind of people, who have the belief that humans are supposed to be free thinking and free living. And those people died. One of them died 2 years ago, the other one I think 1 year ago. Also my father died several years ago, a decade ago, and my grandfather died a year ago. So in my opinion, I own it to those men and also myself and the people around me and this world and also God or whoever will judge me, that I speak truth to power and also to societal evolution. It's the wrong word. progression, societal progression that is not all the time in the best interest of humanity. I did this video 40 minutes, around 40 minutes, in German as well, which is my native language. Please excuse me when I have to think for some seconds or even a minute about the right words to choose in English and how to phrase stuff. Sometimes I will need a workaround when I don't know or can't remember the proper English phrasing. So people who had a lot to say and influenced me a lot are not around anymore, and I and a lot of us are a bit cowardly, hiding behind other people who are supposed to talk truth to power, because why should I or you do it when there are other people around who are smarter, more educated and with a bigger reach? But that's not my thinking anymore. Every one of us is supposed to do whatever they can to show humanity and every single human out there that they're not alone in this mess, in these crazy times where strange things are progressing faster than ever before. At first I already told you my motivation, but the next thing is I will tell you who I am, because one big thing that is happening in the world, not only the so-called civilized world, the so-called Western world, democratic world, so-called democratic world, but all around the world, is the digitalization of reality, of nature, of humanity. And there are different reasons that are told to us why this is so important and why we have to do it, and it's to protect children and to protect against terrorism and to protect against wrong think and to protect against tax evasion. And I sometimes have to change my hand because I have, like I said, no tripod or something. And you have to excuse me that sometimes my ADHD mind goes down a rabbit hole and a labyrinth while I actually wanted to say something else and I lost the plot. But I was at why they tell us we need digital IDs and total surveillance, because you are not to be trusted, and your neighbor and their neighbor and the Muslims and the leftists and the right wing and the extremists and the vegans and the carnivores and the cyclists and the car drivers and the Slavs and the women are not to be trusted, men are evil. So there are a lot of reasons why we should apparently be under total surveillance. And there is this saying in German. I will try to translate it to English the best I can. If you do nothing wrong, then you don't have to fear surveillance. You have nothing to hide because you have a clean vest. But the problem is not what you do now, what you're doing now, and what is now under the law, in the law, according to law. I mean, yeah, there are many layers to this discussion. Yeah, but it's also most importantly, I think, is that things change. At one point, there was the NSDAP, the Nationalsozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterpartei, National Socialist German Workers' Party, was in charge. They were elected at first, and after that they did a coup d'etat against the democracy or republic, I don't know actually if it was a democracy or a republic, that voted them in, and they installed a dictatorship. So, after this coup d'etat, they had all the data on their hand that before their takeover was no problem for the citizens, like who is a Jew, who is gay, who is a communist, who thinks what, who does that. Yeah. So at first this was all problematic, not problematic because it was all freedom of whatever and who cares, who knows, yeah. And then all of a sudden things changed, the state changed, the laws changed, and things that were normal before were prohibited and dangerous afterwards. So who tells you that in the future there will not be crazy rightists, crazy leftists, crazy carnivores, crazy cyclists, crazy feminists, crazy patriarchists in power, and the things that are totally fine now will not be totally fine, and you will be in some big problems because you think the wrong thing that was socially acceptable then, but not anymore. And what can you do about it? Because it will come, because our politicians that can in Europe no longer be criticized, because we're actually not a free society, but you're not allowed to tell them off, to call them liars. What I would never do. I would never call our honest, good, kind-hearted politicians anything they're not. I'm just saying, you're not allowed to call them liars, to call them traitors, to call them Pinocchio, to call them corrupt, to call them anything they're apparently not. Because never has a politician has been a liar, corrupt, selfish, or a traitor to their people. This has never happened, and so it's totally illegal to call them that, to tell them off, to be rude. And they even reenacted like some kind of law that was around when we still had a monarchy. Yeah, it's Majestätsbeleidigung, which is like, it's different if there is some guy cleaning shoes down the street and I tell him something, whatever, fuck off, you smell like horse poo, because he's sitting in the street and the horses poop next to him and he's, yeah, or I can do that because who is he? He's nothing, he's not even human probably. And but the majesty, yeah, the king, the queen, the duke, the count, or now the mayor, the chancellor, the president, whoever, they are way more important. They are not as deplorable as us normal people, so you cannot call them anything. This is not in your place, and there it happened. I lost the plot, but I'm coming back to it. So these honest, good-hearted people would, of course, never decide anything that is against their population, their voters, their constituency. Is this how you say it? They would never do that. because they're, like I said, they're almost like angels walking on earth, on this holy ground we were given by our ancestors. They them sisters. They gave us this planet, and we are honored to walk the same ground as these holy people in our parliaments in Brussels or in Vienna or London or wherever. And so these people you are not even supposed to criticize, would of course never do anything. Wait, I have to put the camera to the other side, otherwise you will be blinded by the sun all the time. They would never do anything that is not in your interest, of course. And so it's totally okay if they know everything you do, the religion, who you want to have a sexual relationship with, what you eat, what you drive, how often you go to holiday, which medication you take, which mental illness you have or don't have, if you're diabetic, if you have a replacement hip, if you brush your teeth regularly, whatever. They can know it all. And of course AI and the algorithm and the corporations and insurances and car manufacturers who want to know what you do with your genitals in their car, they would never do anything wrong with this data. They wouldn't, because they're also angels and holy like our elected officials, of course. And also elections, they are always 100% foolproof. There is no possibility of them having anything wrong, and this is all great and good, and everyone who says anything against it is a conspiracy theorist, like this guy. This stupid, not evil, but totally stupid, uneducated Austrian redneck here. So, what am I doing now? I think this is unavoidable, because in Austria you cannot even do your taxes. Of course it's all it's not mandatory, it's all on your free decision. I don't know, freiwillig, voluntary, it's all voluntary. Yeah, you don't have to do it. Yeah, not fuck the sun. Don't fuck the sun. At first you will burn your dick or your pussy or whatever you have down there. And secondly, I love it. I love this ball. It's the greatest ball of them all. Yeah, but it's a bit annoying when you try to make a video. I'm not trying, I'm doing. When you make a video in the woods, then it can blind you and your audience. So damn it. Where was I? They're all good people, of course. And they have it's all voluntary. Yeah. The digital ID, everything. Yeah, the mandatory pokey in Austria was not. The mandatory was voluntary. Voluntary mandatory. Monetary voluntary. Yeah, at first they told us it's not mandatory. You have your free will. And then they said, at least they don't force you. You just have to pay a fine. Yeah, and then they told us, fuck you, take it now, you evil people. We will come for you and your kids. So things change. But of course, with the digital ID, it will be different. No one will force you. It's all voluntary. But, you will not be able to go and claim your social benefits, and you will not be able to claim your unemployment insurance, and you will not be able to do your taxes and get your tax return when you pay too much. but it will be voluntary. Yeah, you will not be able to go to see certain doctors, and you will not be able to maybe fly, whatever. Yeah, now they started with the taxes. You cannot do your tax return when you don't have the ID Austria. It's not the digital ID from the globalists. No, it's ID Austria. It's super patriotic, and it's very handy because that's what they tell you. So in English this video will be a bit more humorous and less coherent than in German, because in English I'm a bit of a different person. I'm not as inhibited because the German language alone is inhibiting my freedom because it's so well structured. Okay, so this will be all voluntary. But I like to get my tax return. I like to get my money I paid already in taxes. I didn't pay it. They take it. When I work somewhere, they take it. They just take it. This is our part. Yes, check. And afterwards, I have to tell them. They know, but I have to tell them they know I have kids, and I can get some taxes I paid returned to me, because kids are expensive and I have to send them to school and they need all the stuff and they need all the things and whatever. Yeah, so I get money back, and also I get money back when I drive very far, because the fuel is also heavily taxed. Is it tax or is it tax? I don't know. There is a lot of money I pay to the government, and in the end of the year, when I'm a good worker, well-behaved cog in the machinery, I can get some of this money back. But for that, I need my voluntary ID Austria, where everything is probably inside. Like, if I had to use like a cream against an STD, it will be inside there. And if I I'm depressed and I take antidepressants, it will be inside there. And if I have a lot of parking tickets, it will be inside there. And if I have the not mandatory, totally voluntarily mandatory injection, it will be in there. And if I was a member of a party that maybe is forbidden now or later, it will be in there, but it's voluntary. So what can you do? I got it again. The plot is here. Don't be scared. It's here. It's here, right there. It's right here. I think this so-called anonymity we have in the internet, my arm, it's a trap. It's a trap. Like all of this society that is telling us that it's good to be safe, always safe. Yeah, in Europe we like to be safe, especially in the German-speaking countries. Everything has to be safe. Yeah. And safety is way more important than freedom, because what has freedom ever done for you? Nothing. But safety, it's cozy, it's gentle, yeah? So, fucking lost it. Again. Safety. Voluntarily. There will be no way out of it. Yeah, the safety, genau. Yes, sure, I'm there. So, the anonymity of the internet. It was great for some time, yeah. And also the anonymity of the vote was good for some time. But actually, I think it's a trap. It's a trap that bamboozles us into thinking that it's not our business to know what other people think, and it's not the business of other people to know what we think. I think it's actually quite fine if people know what I think and if I know what they think. But I shouldn't judge them too hard. And I shouldn't think that I'm without any mistake and I'm the alpha and omega and everything I say is right and everything someone else is saying is wrong. Yeah. So it should be okay for me to know that my neighbor is voting for the communists. And I should be still able to be friends with him and help him out when he needs something. So this neighbor, I'm inventing, this is an imaginary neighbor. So he has a car accident and I fucking hate communism. I hate it. I think it's evil. But this neighbor who votes for the Communistic Party in Austria, he has a car accident. I should still go over there and help him as best as I can, even like my own family. That's a much more preferred reality in society than the society they propose to us, like where no one knows anything about their neighbors and themselves also, and we are all in this limbo of lies. So I'm actually quite happy that people know that I totally detest the things that have been happening with certain wealthy people and certain underaged girls and boys or whoever, Caesar, they, them. Yeah. So it's okay. It's okay that you know that I detest evil and that I think we should do something about it, or at least the justice, so-called justice system. So, and also it's okay that you know that I voted right wing for the last elections, and in my youth I voted the Green Party and I voted the Socialists, because things change, people change, perspectives change. But nonetheless, at every point in time I thought I was the good guy, and I'm still thinking I'm a good guy. But now something changed. I stopped believing that the other people who think other things, believe other beliefs, are evil. Because who is telling me that they are evil? It's them. The people that don't exist. Non-existing people who rule the world want me to hate my fellow brethren, sistren, humans. Because of different reasons. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm in the plot or I lost it, but it's important to say this. So I eat meat. I'm supposed to hate you when you're vegan. I drive a car and I'm supposed to hate you when you drive a bicycle. When I was living in a city and I was driving a bicycle, I was supposed to hate you because you're driving a car. I was left wing and I was supposed to hate you because you're right wing. Now I'm right wing and I'm supposed to hate you because you're left wing. I am older now and I'm supposed to hate you because you are young. And I was young and I was supposed to hate you because you were old. I'm a man, will never be a woman, but I'm supposed to hate you because you're a woman. I'm supposed to hate you because you're a feminine man, and you're supposed to hate me because I'm a masculine man. I was an atheist, and you were supposed to hate me because I don't believe in God and now believe in God, and I'm supposed to hate you because you believe in no God or another God. Do you recognize a pattern? And it's always the same media and the same wholly unfailable politicians that want me to hate the people who are actually on my side, because it doesn't matter what you eat or who you have a sexual relationship with, of course adults. It doesn't matter which mode of transportation you choose. We want freedom, we want safety, we want a balance between those two. We want to be not hurt. We want to have a good future for our children. We want to have healthy food. We want to have clean skies. We want to have healthy forests. We want justice. We want a lot of things that we have in common, and there are minor things that we don't have in common. And I think we should stop letting us be divided. There was this thing where they chanted, "He will not divide us, he will not divide us." But they got divided into the ones that follow the guy in orange and the ones who don't follow them. But he's just a guy. I'm also just a guy. You can think I'm stupid. You can think I'm crazy, insane. I am uneducated, whatever I am. But I respect you. Hopefully you do nothing I cannot respect. But actually I can respect most things you do in a good conscience. This is why I do this. I'm back to the plot. The plot is why do I make this video, and why will I keep making other videos. So things have to be said. People who can talk are dead, and I'm the one who is left. Yeah, to be a hero, you don't have to go a step forward. It's sufficient if the guy next to you gets shot in the face. Then you're the only one left, and you either a hero or you're a coward. And I decide to step forward and be brave. Maybe because I believe in God now, it helps me to be brave. Because what's the worst thing that can happen? Yeah, they can kill me. And digital ID, it will come, because they will get you with something, with the access to social benefits, access to healthcare, access to your tax you already paid and you want to get back because you paid too much, because they took too much. You didn't pay, they just took it, and now you're supposed to tell them what they took too much. So, what can you do? I tell you what you can do. I will tell you. My name is Lino Navarra. Exactly, Lino Christian Navarra. Christian, like the civil servant who helped to bring me to this plane of existence. I was born on the 11th day of July in 1986 in an ambulance in the Südportalstraße, in the South Portal Street, next to the Praterstern, the Prater Star in Vienna. I was born, and that's who I am. And I believe in God. Not a Catholic or a Protestant or a Muslimic or a Judaic God, but in one God. And I believe there are different aspects of religiosity, spirituality, that are very important for human beings. I think that a lot of things are not as easy as they want us to believe. It's black and white. They're actually easy. They are not black and white. And I believe in good and in evil. I believe in the devil and the great enemy of humanity and God. Because how else could you explain what's happening in the world today? And I let my hair grow because only peasants cut their hair. I'm a bit weird. Yeah, I'm a bit crazy. I'm a bit in German they call us Schwurbler. This is we're not at first they call us conspiracy theorists, but after too many conspiracies got true, they needed another word. yeah, and they called us Schwurbler. This is like rambler or babbling, like the people who are foaming at their mouth, ranting and on, and they don't want you to be happy, and they want to put their belief into your head and whatever, yeah. This is what I am. I'm a Schwurbler. I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I'm a believer. I believe in God. And this is what this channel will be about from now on. Not God, not one God, whatever. Yeah, I don't want to alienate you, because actually, whatever you believe, we have more in common than the things that divide or separate us. I eat meat. I'm a carnivore. I'm mostly ketogenic carnivore. I eat butter and I eat meat. I eat pork and I eat beef. I don't like chicken so much because it's quite worthless. It's way too dry, way too lean. Lean is the word. I don't cut my hair because only peasants cut their hair. Also, when you cut your hair, I don't think less of you. I don't think you're a peasant. You just don't see the world like I see it. And that's fine. Why would you have to? I have a beard because I'm a king. In my world, I'm a king. We're born as kings. You are born as a king. And there is no one above you but God. Yeah, no human being. No matter how they call themselves, no matter what kind of made up legitimacy, whatever they make up to put you down, they're on the same level than you. We're all the same. Not the same. Similar? This is where my English knowledge comes to its borders. Yeah, in German I would know it. The difference between das Gleiche und dasselbe. Similar and same. We're similar. This human being was born similar, but not the same, because I'm small, you are tall. I'm from Austria, you are from Uganda, Czech Republic, Chile, Texas. So, why am I doing this? Like I said, my name is Lino Christian Navarra. I'm born on the 11th day of July 1986. And I'm a man, I'm male, I'm proud to be alive. Okay, I would never voluntarily end my existence on this plane. Okay, just so you know, just to put this out there in the ether. I have quite a big forehead. This is huge. Maybe it's because I'm a big thinker, or it's because I was born too early. I have a big nose, maybe French nose. Some people think I'm manly and handsome. Some people think I'm just a self-pretending bullshitter. I don't know. I'm almost 40 years old. I will be 40 years old this year. Maybe I'm just a normal dude in midlife crisis, and instead of buying a motorbike, a Harley Davidson, I start talking to other like-minded people. Who knows? Who knows? So, but it's very important that we stop being divided. We connect. Yeah, why do I do this? Yeah, why do I do this? Because we need to stop to hide behind anonymity. It's okay for you to know who I am. And it would be okay for you, for me to know who you are. Because God is judging us. We're all equally worthy. We have inherent some things in English. We have inherent worth as a human being, as a part of God. So yes, I can judge about things and you can judge about things, but we should still see the good and the connecting part. And even if we don't see it, who am I? Who am I? Who is what is what I believe? Why am I so important? Why am I right and you are wrong? I mean, there are certain aspects that we can discuss, which will not be part of this video, but of course, if you harm others, if you harm at first other human beings and then other living things, then maybe you are wrong. If this was not necessary for you to survive, if it's just lust or an urge, then probably you're wrong. Also, if you hurt yourself out of lust and urges, you're also wrong, because you're also a holy human being. So, you know now who I am, you know my name, you know when I was born. I was born in Vienna, and I lived there at first I lived in the countryside until I was 2 years old. Then I lived in Vienna in the 22nd district of Vienna for almost 35 years. And then I left Austria for Bulgaria. Why did I do that? Why did you do that? Why did you go to the poorest country in Europe from one of the richest, most livable cities in the world? Because I didn't feel free anymore. Because there was this voluntary, mandatory medicine they wanted me to take, and I said no, I will not do it. And there is one thing about me, if you want to pressure me into something, good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah. there was one epic, you all know tug of war, we call it Seilziehen, where one team and another team both pulled on a rope. And which side first falls or is pulled over a certain line wins or loses or whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean. Loses. Is pulled, loses. Is pulling, wins. Okay, so my whole team let go of the rope. They let go. So I was alone. But if I have just one decision left in this life, I will never give up, you know? So there was little Lino, I was, 7 years old, on this rope with, 10 other kids on the other side of the rope, and they were pulling me through the schoolyard on this rope. I was holding on like I was surfing or whatever. I was lying on the floor. I got pulled like in other times, like a slave or whatever, as a punishment, and it quite hurt. I got bruises and I got not scarring. My skin got ripped off and stuff. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, and my great grand aunt saw me, and she said, "I was so embarrassed that you were stupid enough to not let go." Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe it's smart to admit defeat. But maybe I'm just courageous. Maybe I don't give up only because it's hard. And I don't know who it was. Was it my mother? Was it my uncle? It's a bit embarrassing that I don't know. But someone else told me they were quite proud of me for being this resilient and not letting go of the rope. And I still feel this compliment in my heart. So, because I didn't want to do this shitty thing or this super smart, necessary thing that was told to a lot of people around the world is super necessary to end the pandemic. It will never end if you don't do it. I didn't do it. I never did it. And still the pandemic ended. How is this even happening? So, I didn't do it. And the other, like 1/3 of Austria didn't do it. But still the pandemic ended. But at this point in time, they were talking the same talk, like every time something like this happens, because the fascism is deep in the German sphere. Maybe not only there. Maybe like look at Australia. Woo! Wouldn't like to be Australian. But in Austria it was like, we have to do something about those evil people who want to be free. We have to do something.
We have to take their kids. You know what? We have to put them in jail. We have to make them pay.
And then they made the unmandatory, voluntary thing mandatory. And they said, no, it's not. Not by force. Not by force. They will not take you from your bed and put you on and chain you and inject you. No, they will not do this. But you have to pay a fine if you don't do it. Like it was 3,000 euros, $3,000 around per person, per misdemeanor. Felony? I don't know if it was a felony or a misdemeanor. I don't know. But per so like they tell you once and you have to pay, and then they tell you again and you have to pay, and then they tell you again and you have to pay. So you had like a period of like I don't know, a month, and then you had to pay again. And we were four people. 4 times 3 is like $12,000 a month. Like how long can you afford to not pay? And also at the same time they always say the same thing. Those people, those unscientific schwurblers, the conspiracy theorists, how can we allow them to have their kids? We should take the kids. And there is even legislation for this. So, it's called Zurückhaltung lebensnotwendiger medizinischer Maßnahmen. So if you're like a crazy person and your kid needs blood transfusion, otherwise they would die, they can take your right to be the parent away. And also they always said, if you don't take the voluntary mandatory thing, then you will die. You will die. You, me, everyone. We will all die if you don't do it. So at first they declared, it's science, that you will die if you don't do it. And also they have the legislation to take away kids from their parents if the parents are neglecting, prohibiting the kids from having a life-saving medical procedure. You tell me what you would do. So we left for Bulgaria, the poorest country in Europe, with only 20% so-called vaccination rate. We bought a house without water, without electricity, like really only the necessities, yeah, you know, a roof and walls and doors and windows. This was a house and we bought it, and I actually liked it. My wife liked it a little bit less because I'm a redneck, you know. I loved it, running around only in shorts in 35 degrees Celsius, all day sun. I don't know why, but in Bulgaria they have sun. In Austria it's most of the time strange, foggy things on the sky that are totally normal and have been like that forever. So I liked it. My wife liked it a little bit less, and the kids actually hated it quite fast. And who am I to... And also it got expensive really fast, super expensive. So this country, the people are poor, but the prices for groceries there are almost the same level as in Austria. So I said, there was a point where we said, no, let's leave this place, let's go back to Austria, let's earn money, let's let our kids have some kind of education. We have to regulate, we have to help our kids not be brainwashed or to be more neutral. Okay, let's go through the woods. My dog wants to go through the woods. So, and then we went back to Austria because the kids couldn't stand it anymore, and I said I can be happy everywhere. I can be happy in Bulgaria, I can be happy in Austria, because my happiness doesn't come from the outside. My happiness comes from the inside and from above and all around. Probably, maybe. So then we went back to Austria, and in the German video I also said who my parents are and all of that. I forgot that now. My father... Wait, let's stop with let's keep going with the other topic. So we went back to Austria, and now we are near Vienna, near the capital of Austria. We're like 1 hour drive away in the countryside. Quite nice, quite idyllic. It's great, but the people are super superficial and super hypocritic. But maybe there will be an awakening. Maybe I can do something about it. Maybe I can just be so freaky that they see, hey, I can be freaky too. I don't know. Or not. You never know. You cannot make people do evolution. It has to come from within. Progression. Spiritual evolvement. It has to come from within. You cannot force certain things. Yo, dog, you're fucking with me. You're going around the tree like crazy. Okay. So, we're back in Austria. And we're earning money, and we're looking for properties to live on, because we're living in a house of a relative that is okay with us but wants us gone in some time, but it's okay for now. So we will buy a shack, a rundown house somewhere and renovate it. I can do that, and now I really know I can do that because I already did it in a country where you don't even get the right materials all the time, and they have shortages in water and electricity. So I'm back in Austria. Who am I? I'm telling you who I am, so you know who I am, so you might feel safe with me or connected or something, or I feel safe and connected. We both do. But things need to be said, and before I can say things, I need to establish a baseline, who I am. My name is Lino Navara. I'm born on the 11th day of July in the year 1986, not 68, 86, in Austria. And my father was Norbert Eduard Navara, and he learned in a bank, but he hated it to be part of this money-making machinery, so he got an entrepreneur and started to build wooden toys. Yeah, I'm Pinocchio. Look at my nose. He started to build wooden toys and sell them on different markets and fairs. And my mother is still alive, so I will not name her because that's her privacy and she chooses to be out there or not. But maybe she will not choose in the future. Someone else will choose for her because freedom is scary. But my mother is worked in a grocery store and also learned to be a nurse, and she worked at the UCI. ICU, Intensive Care Unit. Is it called like that? Notaufnahme? And she's also crazy. Yeah, like she has a paper and takes drugs and stuff. She's bipolar, manic depressive, and I learned a lot about life from her illness. And in the future, everyone will know, you know, because this will be in her digital ID that she's crazy and that she, whatever she did, that she slapped a policeman once when she was in a manic phase, or that she, whatever, took a dump in a public park in Vienna, or whatever. It will be in there. That she, what countries she visited, will be in this super voluntary, involuntary, mandatory thing. Voluntary. Did I say that it's voluntary? Super voluntary. So, and she will need it, because without that she will have to pay. She will get no. In Austria, you pay a lot of taxes, and then you get a lot of exemptions for medication and stuff. So they put you on a leash now. It's just dependency. That's the word. They put you in a kind of dependency. At first, they say, "Oh, it's for your good. Pay it," and you pay, and then you have your money, and they say, "Yeah, but you get this benefit and that benefit and that." But then you have to jump when they say jump, and you have to take certain medicines you maybe don't want to take. But when she wants to have her pills for her psychiatric illness, she will probably have to have this ID Austria. Also, just back to the topic. So that's my mother, and I have a brother too, who is super good guy. He's a nice guy. He's really, really hardworking, good son, but he's so well integrated into this system. I will not name him, of course not. And he will probably think I am crazy for the things I say in this video, but he's kind to me anyways, which I really love about him. He thinks I'm stupid, maybe not stupid, maybe just crazy, maybe just uneducated, uninformed, brainwashed. Sometimes he's scared that I inherited the manic genes from my mother. But what can you do? He is constantly what's the word in English? Not scared. Doesn't matter. We use scared. He's scared that something happens to the irresponsible people in his family and around him. Maybe that's because of the things we lived through as kids with our bipolar mother. And what can you do? So that's who I am. I am Lino Christian Navarra, born on the 11th day of July in the year 1986 in Vienna, and now you know. And in the past I was a leftist, and now I was a rightist, and now I don't know what I am, but I am a believer. I believe in Jesus Christ. Probably. I think he was onto something. He had a point about loving other humans and being not judgmental and taking money out of religion and taking religion out of spirituality and taking institutions out of God equation. I think he was onto something. Is he the only one? Probably not. Maybe there were other people who were thinking the same thing. They were also connected with the source like he was, but we don't know about them. What can you do? That's how it is. I am super lost in the woods, but I know these woods. I was here running. Often I'm going outside running. I love running. I love the woods. And I love life. And I would never voluntarily end my existence on this plane of existence. Just so you know. You have to be precise about this. because it's also one of the greatest sins to throw away the gift of existing in this world that was given to us by some higher power that probably exists in one way or another. Okay, this is who I am. Now you know. And why am I doing this? Because a man has to man up, or a woman has to woman up. But I'm not a woman, I'm a man, so I only can man up. It's not possible for me to woman up. I'm a manly man, and I think it's my responsibility, my duty, to talk about things, at least talk about things. I'm not telling you to put up a fight with any authorities that only have your best in their mind all the time. They would never lie or be corrupt or selfish or have any human emotions. They would just do the best for you and your family and the nation state, or however you would call it. And so I'm not telling you, and I would never tell you, to what you have to do to be a manly man or a womanly woman or a kind Christian, because I'm actually not a Christian. I'm just a man who thinks that this bearded guy, this one, whatever he looked like, this guy 2,000 years ago, probably had he had a point. He had something going on. He knew what's up. And I think religions have hijacked the God connection. Maybe even, I know I will tell you exactly what I think, but I have to choose my words wise, because on this platform and all the platforms, it's not easy to speak truth to power, because they already started to prohibit free speech, and they're totally right about that. Of course, because nothing that I say that hurts the feeling of any institutions or companies or public servants has any merit or any worth, and would only be in mean spirit, and also because I'm uneducated. So forget religions. Go back to God. Yeah, go back to God. Believe in God, but don't believe in any churches or institutions. That's what I believe. So, but this video is not about that. This video is about who I am. Who am I? Who are you? Who are we? And will we still allow them to separate us and divide us into different categories of human being, depending on the things we eat, the things we believe, the people we love, and the mode of transportation we choose, or the poison we put in our body? Maybe we drink alcohol or not, or we smoke or we don't, whatever. Yeah, will we still let them, whoever they are there, but they don't exist, because you couldn't never say that someone exists that wants something from you. You cannot, there is no possibility that there is someone planning. No one planned anything ever. Nothing is ever planned. Everything is just coincidence. And also rich people don't think, and they don't want you to do things. And also there are no people that are beyond money, that are beyond institutions. They don't exist, and they would never want anything from you. And they also wouldn't want that you let yourself be divided from other human beings. Maybe I sound a bit more crazy than I actually am in English, but you know, this is just a part of me. There are several parts. They're part of me, the other parts, so not different personalities. It's the same person, but same other different aspects. And you only see one aspect now, the crazy Schwurbler in the woods. That's the one you see now. And I would never recommend anything to you. I'm just telling you how I see things and what I do with my life. I love to go to the woods because I feel actually really alive in nature. There you have a big field. Over there is some kind of fruit trees. Over there, I don't know. And here probably wheat or potatoes. Yeah, things people eat. Slaves eat. Because I am not a slave. I'm not a peasant. I eat meat and eggs and cheese and butter. Because I'm not cattle. That's what I think. That's what I believe. Benefit. It makes me healthy. It reduces the symptoms of my so-called civilizatory illnesses. Yeah. And that's why I have long hair, because I'm not a peasant, and I wear a beard because I'm a king. And this is also why I do what I want to do and I say what I want to say. But you don't have to listen to me. So this is over an hour now. Over an hour. I think you know who I am now. And on this channel I will react to the zeitgeist and to the progressive social whatever things are happening. And I will probably speak truth to power. And maybe you can feel connected and feel something and feel understood, because we humans want to be understood. Actually, it's not important, but we want it anyways. And also, I need to say things, otherwise my head will burst, because so many things are unsaid and need to be spoken out, put out in this plane of reality, so they can manifest and hopefully do good things, or not. And if it's totally stupid bullshit, then I have you to tell me, and maybe I even listen to you. Okay, so that's that. I need to change the battery of the camera now, and I hope you found something in there in this rambling. And this is just the introduction, so you know who I am and the real things. Yeah, we will dig to them, we will find them down there. We will dig to the truth of the matter, or all the matters, or no matters. Did you find it? Is it down there? See you later. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Or yeah, whatever. I hope you got something out of it.